Tantas cosas lindas que tiene el destino que yo nunca he podido disfrutar. Yo quisiera que se abrieran los caminos y me sienta libre de poder andar. Algún día yo quisiera ser feliz y tener entre mis brazos un amor que viviera solamente para mí y que nunca más supiera del dolor. Para quererte, ser feliz, para estar siempre junto a ti. Para quererte, ser feliz, para estar siempre junto a ti.
All right. I think we're rolling. This is my first time we're gonna be here. So most of you don't know me. My name is Dan. People know me as El Unico. My Instagram, El Unico Cuban Blood. Some of you might have seen a few of my World Star videos doing a knife thing. Maybe you have seen a video of a samurai cutting some fruits. Yeah, that was me right there. So, my name is Dan. These are my kids, my son. Introduce yourself.
My name's Diego.
Okay.
I play basketball. I'm a pretty good athlete, I guess.
Really good athlete. He's being modest right now.
I go to school here in Arkansas at Tech, and I'm trying to pursue a physical education degree. But yeah, just kind of going with the flow.
That's Diego right there, and who we got here?
My name is Diego, and I'm going right now attending to Champion Christian College, but I'm going to be transferring to Tech and be going to school with my brother, and I play basketball as well. And I'm going to try to pursue like a nursing career, but at the same time do like social media and stuff like that.
All right, now we got an introduction. These are my kids. So, in my idea, this is an honor to me that my first people to interview is going to be my own sons. They have made me proud throughout the years. They have won many basketball games. They have come out in the newspapers, and they've been very awesome kids, and I'm very proud of them. So it has to be this way. They are the first on my podcast. Thank you for my sons. They helped me set up this. In the future, we're gonna upgrade some stuff, but so okay. One question that I got for you. Okay, so you're not gonna pursue. I heard you just say like you're not going for basketball anymore.
Well, it's a really tricky subject, especially like for obviously any kid growing up. Their goal is to become the best basketball player in the world, or just be in the NBA, or just at some point, any sort of kid, their goals are to kind of be maybe the best in the world at a sport or a hobby or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really hard thing to do in life. But
yeah, it is not a fact that everybody would achieve perfection or achieve to be a LeBron James or a Michael Jordan or something like that.
But I do think that the odds are against a lot of maybe middle class, poor, and just people like that in general. I feel like because I think there's like I don't want to say agenda, but there's like a lot of judging maybe depending on the person and
On who it
their
is.
upbringing, who they are. I think that has to do a lot with how people can get to somewhere in life, especially when it comes to sports.
That's a good subject that you just touched. Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, we as a family, they recently graduated and they are assisting college right now. So we had this conversation about how recruiters in basketball or any sport, they don't really look for the skills of the athlete, but they look for some, I don't know how to call it.
Maybe height. I mean, just think.
Like in basketball, for example, my kids are not the tallest ones. They are not the tallest ones. But if any of you has seen them play or get the chance to see them play, you will see that they are really good. They are super fast. They got all the skills to be the best basketball players in the world. But they don't get recruited because when a recruiter gets the paper of the new students that graduated that they want to assist basketball, they look for the high. They don't even go and meet the kid. They don't meet the teenager that is about to play. They don't go and see who is the person that they're recruiting. They just see that, oh, okay, this person is 6'7" and this other one is 5'7". Let's take the 6'7" feet person, and that's not fair because maybe the 5'7" got way more skills, way more chances to be the athlete that the recruiter is looking for, and the other one is just the high. You don't have the skill, you don't have the talent, you don't have the speed, the will. You know, they love it. You know, you can be tall doesn't mean that you want to be a basketball player. A lot of people want to force. You are a tall guy, and normally they want to force you. Bro, you're good for basketball. Right. Man, this guy has never thought in his life about basketball. This guy is thinking of something else, and you want him to be a basketball player. But then you are not looking at the guy that really wants to be a basketball player, that got the skills, that got the talent. So yeah.
And I think it's very, I feel like this is disappointing, and I mean, to some people it can even be depressing because.
Yes.
I mean, just it's crazy because the story of Michael Jordan before he even became Michael Jordan, I think the coach wouldn't give him a chance to join the basketball team just because he wasn't one of the tallest kids in the group or something like that. Thanks to God, you know, he was able to grow, I think, up to maybe 6'6", maybe, or grow a couple inches over the summer, which got him the chance to you know, to be, you know, have that big name under him. But I mean, a lot of anybody that knows Michael Jordan and knows, you know, his story, I feel like Michael Jordan could have still been Michael Jordan if he was 6 foot instead of 6'6".
Yes, sir.
And I think that's something that it's very it's looked at highly when it comes to sports. I mean, I've heard stories where kids have been really good in football, and because the recruiter walks in, they're looking for a 6'5" lineman, they just pass up on any other players that aren't meeting the height requirement. Whenever a 5'9" or a 5'10" player can do about the same than that player can, and I think it's very disappointing. I feel like that you have people like that running systems and being the head coaches of teams.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you have. I mean, normally, growing up, I think a lot of kids find joy and happiness playing sports. But when they get to a certain system, like college maybe or high school, I feel like they find out that it's really not, you know, really not, I guess, what they were looking forward to. And not a lot of people may say, oh, maybe you're just not good enough, or maybe, you know, you just don't qualify for the standards. But how can those people ever, how do those people ever, like, how can they know if they were ever even good enough if they never were given the chance?
Yes.
And I think that's something.
That's a very sad point that happens, because there is a lot of youth out there with a lot of talent, and they get lost in the streets. They get lost into the life of, I don't know, drugs, hanging out, and maybe just go and get a regular job. And some people out there, some of the recruiters out there, you should be aware that you are leaving kids sad and depressed, and because of your own actions, you might let somebody else to take a different path in his life, a not successful path, a very depressing and sad life, just because the recruiter didn't have the vision to recruit the right one. Because if you recruit somebody that is 6'7" and is not a good basketball player, and he don't want to do basketball, that's not his dream, that's not what is on his plan, you're gonna get nothing out of that person. That athlete is not even gonna be an athlete. It's gonna be just a person that you just put there because of his height. So you're not doing no good to that person, and you are doing wrong to the right one, to the one that deserves to be in that spot. So I think this is a call for everyone that is in a position of leadership to always try to use your mind and the best of your knowledge to come to the right decision. Make sure you take the right measurements to recruit the person or to hire the person, whatever you're doing. Make sure you're getting the right one. Make sure you're doing it the right way. Make sure you already check between the pile. If there is anybody left, let me check. Maybe this one is the one, not the one that I already picked. So I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about that?
I don't know. It could be, sometimes it could be, unfair to some people, and sometimes some people might not get the chance to show out their skills. So I feel like at sometimes it can be, and sometimes it can be very unfair, and I feel like most of the time when people get, like those people that go big in sports, or I feel like it's more like a popularity thing. Like if you're really known, there's a lot of high school players that are really, really known, and just because they're really, really known, it gets them places, because a lot of people, maybe they do something crazy and just that one highlight video just goes viral and just a whole bunch of people talk about it, and there's other people that are doing crazier things that other people just don't hear of because that person got,
the spotlight. He got the yes.
Which I mean, to an extent, I feel like that can be okay to have, as far as if they worked for it. But I do think that there's people that have talent and worth ethic that go unlooked just because of someone in power that isn't doing the right thing, and they might just be in that position just because they need bills to pay.
Yes.
And there's actually someone that's out there working and doing what they're supposed to be doing in order to get to where they want to get to in life, but because of somebody else, their dreams or their goals are being affected when that person probably shouldn't even be in that position in the first place.
Guys, we are talking about this right now, but like I said before in the beginning, this is a conversation that we as a family, we had a few months ago, and it's sad that they apply in many universities for the basketball, because their dream is to be basketball players, to play in the NBA. Now they got, but me as a dad, what I have known about them since very little, all they want to do is play basketball. But I feel like even in them, something has changed already, because they saw what the system is. So when they fill out the application for the universities or colleges, they didn't get recruited, but nobody saw them, nobody watched them play. It's not like a recruiter came and say, okay, let me see what you do, what you got. No, it's not like that. They just go get a file, they see all the names, and they go straight up to check the height. Basketball, we're looking for basketball players. Let me see. This is the tallest one, let's get this one. And that's it. And maybe football player, they're looking for the biggest dude. this one is the biggest dude. Let me get this one. So, and it's not really fair. It's not really fair.
And not to to go back to that point that you're talking about. Depending on I guess where you decide to maybe play sports at, or whatever the case is. I think you really need to be aware of where you're at, and as far as for schooling, because I think that personally, for the school that we went to in high school, I don't think they did the correct thing as I don't know, maybe as sports in general, maybe coaching and stuff like that. There were things that were supposed to be said to athletes in order to be able to go to college that weren't said to us. There was
like directions. They didn't give you directions.
Well, and I don't know if this is the case with other schools or not, but if I'm a coach personally, and if a kid's working hard to get to a certain goal, I want to try to help that kid whatever I can in order to get to that. And by me holding information from them isn't doing that. So after I graduated high school, I found out that the AAA, in order for us to be able to go play college sports that are, I think, D3 and up, if I'm not mistaken, D3, D2, and D1. In order for us to play those, be able to play in those colleges, we have to fill out a certain application of the AAA that we were never informed of in high school.
Wow.
So every
coach or recruiter
that I sent highlights and stuff to couldn't even look at the thing that I sent, because the system, and they can get in trouble for doing something like that, because
they gotta go by the setup that is
AAA,
yes.
Right. But the school that we went to never informed us that.
So you never applied for the AAA, right. So you didn't get the chance to.
So even if the coaches did want to talk to me, they couldn't, because of how things were set up. So that's why I think it's really important, depending on what, I think you need to be really aware, especially for parents. They need to be really aware of the case and what the scenario is. And there's times where, sadly, the cases that maybe the parents just don't know as much about it.
I didn't know about it.
Or they're not aware of the situation. Like, I have a friend that's going to play college baseball. Thanks to God, he's going to a D2 school. His parents didn't know anything about this till they took him to a baseball camp. And the coaches, and I mean, they're U.S. citizens. They've been living here in Arkansas for a long time, but his parents didn't know that in order for their kid to go to a D2 school and play baseball in college, which is the kid's dream, they didn't know that he needed to fill out these applications and do these things over the AAA, and that could have caused that kid a scholarship to go play at that school. And once they did he went to a practice or a tryout, and the coaches from that school were telling the kid and the family of all these things that they're needing to do before he can move on and play college sports.
Wow. And
he took care of that, but it's really I feel like sad how maybe for that person, that coach that did take the position as coach, I feel like they might not be doing their best to help those kids that are trying their hardest to move on to college. I think it's really sad that those coaches do things like that.
Guys, we are talking about something really serious. If you really go deep into it, it's the future of our world, not just United States, because it might be the same way in many other countries in this world. So this is something important. This is like, we might have in the pile, we might have a few LeBron James, we might have a few Michael Jordans, we might have a few Mike Tysons on the piles out there that we are not aware about, but somebody messed them up and they never got the chance to shine.
I mean,
and they had to turn their life to a whole complete different route. And that's not fair. That's not fair. I think we ought to get a chance at what we love, at what we want, and we ought to be heard from the people that are in charge of those positions, wherever they are.
Sadly, I think that's the case for most any sort of kid that plays sports.
And let me tell you something. I'm sorry to interrupt you, son. If you want, let me see who you want. Who you want doing your operation? If you are in a hospital, all right, who you want? The person that really wants to be a doctor, that want to save life, or you want the one that just doing it for the money because somebody told him that if you make yourself a doctor, you're going to get a good payday and you're going to have a nice house, a nice future. I want the person that's really trying to save my life, the one that study health or whatever it is, you know, for that. So I want the right person to take care of me. But if in the health world, when it comes to the life, you know, surgery, stuff like that, you want the right person to do it, why don't you want the right person when you go to get the basketball players, when you go to get the football players? If I'm going to get the next gamer, I don't know, the next podcaster, get the best one. Get, you know, make sure you're ready. Don't say, oh, this. Some people get into power. Let me tell you something. A lot of this world is controlled by money. Everybody knows that. But most of the people that really make it is because they can invest some money into their own careers. Because nowadays, almost nobody, no, let me retract that. Almost nobody is getting successful without investing money. You need to invest money in shoes, clothing, whatever, sports, how do you call it?
Jerseys.
No, when you need stuff that you need, like helmet, accessories. So you gotta buy accessories, and a lot of people need to pay promotion for the stuff. Nowadays, most of the stuff out there doesn't work if you don't have promotion. The chances of you getting a viral video, very low. Very low. That's yeah.
And to kind of to piggyback what he's saying, for those people that don't get a chance to go viral, for those people that don't get a chance to blow up, the best thing that you can do, because I was able to play college basketball, but what I did is that nobody helped me. My coaches weren't helping. I didn't have any videos that went viral. I had to do the stuff on my own. I had to try to reach out to the coaches. I had to try to put my videos out there, and I had to do all that stuff by myself, try to figure out all that process by myself. So for all those people chasing their dreams that want to go play college basketball, that you feel like nobody's helping you, you can do that by yourself. You just have to work and try to figure out the process. Whatever school you want to go to, maybe locally around your area or whatever, you just kind of reach out to them. Get a couple of your highlight videos, send it to your coach or the coaches from over there, and you know, maybe you get a text back, maybe you get a call back, and you just have to just send as much videos and clips as you can around to see if you can make it to any college.
That's a beautiful point. That's a beautiful point. But I'm gonna tell you something, son. I think the way you saying it is the way that if somebody out there is trying to chase the dream, is going to most likely be able to do it the way you just said it. But it's sad that it has to be that way. Yeah. That you, because both of you are excellent basketball players. I'm going to be posting a few of their games. So their games, everybody screams like crazy. Everybody was going crazy with the games. So they really good. It's like they shouldn't go through no struggle because they doing school. So if you're going to school, that what is required to play basketball college, all right, or to go to the NBA. So you're doing the right thing. You're going to school. You're getting good grades, and and the only thing that you're missing is that no recruiter looked at your talent. No recruiter came and say, okay, you trying to apply for this college, let me see what talent you got. No, they didn't offer that.
I mean,
And
normally, it's sad because normally, I mean, it's insane, though, over the phone, they'll pretty much ask you, you know,
over the phone, you heard that? Over the phone?
over the phone, they'll ask you pretty much, oh, how tall are you, how much do you weigh, this and that, which is all fine, but as soon as you say 5'8", 5'9",
That's it.
like, okay, yeah, I don't care who you are,
How good you are.
how good you are, what you know, what you don't know, it's just plain and dry. It's over then and there. And I think it's so. I mean, it's something that shouldn't happen. I mean, because there's ways where a skilled player can overpower a taller player in basketball.
Yes.
And exceed and be better in them than everything else. Obviously, to an extent, the taller player might have some advantages, but there's also advantages that the shorter player has.
The only advantage that a taller player in basketball could have is the reach of the rim.
Right.
That's the only advantage that a taller basketball player could have on a smaller guy. But what about speed? What about precision? What about coordination? What about movement? What about resistance?
Accuracy.
Yeah, there's so many. I'm a martial artist, guys. I do martial arts since I'm 4 years old. So almost as soon as I started using my conscious mind, I remember trying to learn karate and martial arts. So I got a little sense of how sports work and how it's about when you need to have talent, when you have, you know, the strength, dedication, motivation, all these things, all these requirements that they sound alike, but they are not the same. Every little thing does his job. It's not the same motivation, it's not the same as discipline, it's not the same motivation, it's not the same as dedication. That's why they got different meaning, because they use different, you know, they benefit you in different aspects of life. I think you all should be aware of this. There is a lot of young teenagers out there. I would like to hear your opinions, your comments. I'm gonna change this a little bit. So, what's your favorite basketball player? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna change the subject because we were talking about opinions and comments and people talking and stuff. And I was gonna ask you something that I'm sure that a lot of people question and ask about and even wonder, like, and is about what you do with the knife. What goes through your head while you doing that? And I'm sure a lot of people as well have that.
Well, whoever has seen the video. All right, guys, he's talking about I got lucky, I feel, or privileged by I have 3 videos that came out in World Star. But my first video, when I feel like World Star saw me for the first time, whoever is behind it, in my first video of my one of the videos that I did went viral on World Star. So that's what he's talking about, for those that don't know about it. Okay, it's a thing that I do with a knife, with this knife right here, and I go pop, 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 pop between the fingers. So that's what he's talking about. Yeah, what goes through my mind? Man, don't cut yourself.
Don't cut yourself.
Actually, that doesn't go through my mind. What really goes through my mind is, you know, that's a good question. What goes through my mind? I feel like nothing can be on my mind at that moment.
You're too focused.
Yes, I'm just into what I'm doing. Like, if you see it, if I start fast, I'm already into it. I'm like locked into what I'm doing. When you see me start slow first, I'm trying to just get the rhythm. So when I start speeding up, and in those moments, in those seconds, I might think, just be careful, don't cut yourself. Sometimes I have felt sometimes like, let go. You're doing it, like most people say, like in World Star, I saw a lot of comments saying, why? Like, why he's doing that? Why? Okay, first, it gave me a lot of accuracy. It gives me a connection between my mind and my body. It means like my mind and my body can be synchronized and be doing multiple tasks at the same time, or doing only one task, but be completely focused in no mistakes, no errors. Like when I'm doing that, if there is any mistakes between the space that I need to poke with the knife, then I get caught or I get my finger stabbed. So that's what I.
And another question that people probably have as well.
They turn around this podcast towards me right now.
Is where did that come from? Where did that originate? Because you probably just didn't come out your mom's womb and just start just like.
Good question.
Some people probably they're asking like, how did this come to be?
Okay, that's a good question. I think I first, I would say I have no memory when I first saw it. I know it was in school. I know kids at school, we started doing it with like a pencil or a pen or something like that at school. And then I remember going home and practicing with different things. Pencil, many times I use a pencil. Like I poke myself really many times with the how do you call it? La puntica del lápiz.
Lead?
Yeah, with it, and it was still have it. I have to take it out of my finger because it would be in there. But it was like at 7 years old. If I don't have no more recall than that, but like at 7 years old, I started practicing, and I kept doing it. Not every day, but once in a while, I kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and that's it. And I started mastering that, and I felt that it was giving me some type of martial arts wisdom, because it doesn't. A lot of people ask me why you do that. That doesn't have to do nothing with martial arts. Like martial art masters told me, hey, that doesn't really have to do. But when I explain to them, they see where I come from. Like I'm not really trying to hurt myself, but it's a way that I know that I'm still in shape, that I'm still accurate, that I still got my. If I want to focus my mind on something, I still can do it to the maximum of my possibilities. So, but now we just talk about that, and I want to know, what's your favorite basketball player, Django?
I like to think, whenever.
My bad, guys. I'm playing with these magnets. I'm sorry if you hear that. That's me playing with magnets. At first I like Stephen Curry, but now I think I'm to a point where, me personally, I'm a big LeBron fan. I like LeBron. Man, now I was the LeBron fan.
Yeah.
I was the LeBron fan. You guys remember that time at Gold's Gym and in Jupiter? It was last game. It was the last game from Warriors and Lakers.
No, Cleveland.
Cavs.
No, it was
the Warriors, but the other team, it was LeBron James' team.
It was the Celtics. The Celtics versus Cleveland.
I'm talking about a time that it was.
Was it a green team or a red team?
It was a green team.
No, it was a time that it was about between the team of LeBron James, whatever team it was, I don't remember, it was Lakers, and between them and the Warriors. Okay, but the Warriors won.
It was Cleveland then.
It was Cleveland? Okay. Because in those times, you guys were like fans of Steph Curry and what's his name? Kyrie. So you know Kyrie, you got Diego right here, man. Come on. He's a good basketball player, one-on-one. I'll challenge you, man. And you got Django right here, Steve Curry.
LeBron.
You take LeBron. You're taking a big challenge, dude. Nah, actually, LeBron, Steph Curry, come on. Steph Curry, I got a 3-pointer right here. I'll bet anything. He'll get 30 shots straight up. 30 shots before you do. He gets 30 shots before you do. You give him a platform. You offer him a job in the NBA, bro. Come on, let's do that.
He's the replica of Julian Newman's dad.
Hey, okay, how old are you?
19, I think.
And you?
19. Yeah.
So you guys are 19 years old. What is your? Okay, what do you want for? What do you want?
Future.
What do you expect for life? What do you expect of life?
I think I'm wanting to become a coach just because I know how important it is to other kids. Other kids in my kind of like other kids walking in my shoes, kind of like that are going through the same thing I did in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to help them out when it comes to that. I love playing sports. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that I won't be doing that. Obviously, throughout my other years, but I want to be able to help kids that are going through the same thing that I went through in high school, or just any kid in general that might need advice or help with life and things like that. Because I feel like that's where I find my my bread and butter. That's kind of what I like doing for I guess a living. I mean, if I can do that and get paid, I mean, might as well. So that's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking of getting a degree, probably like in. I feel like I want to work in the hospital or just learn about the body of the human, and kind of just learn more about God and just kind of just keep being active in my everyday life, going to the gym. Whether it's going to the gym, playing sports, because I feel like that's something that we need regardless. If you want to play basketball or football or something, whatever you want to call it, just being physically active helps a lot. And the United States of America and people in America are not really good at doing that, because a lot of people just are eating junk food and not keeping themselves healthy. Maybe they stop playing basketball. Like I know a lot of people that they stop playing basketball in high school or football in high school, and after that is just their entire life is just eating junk food and not take care of themselves. So that's something that we need to do regardless if we don't make it to a sport, if we don't make it, because it's not just playing that you want to do to keep you healthy. It's just keeping you healthy in general, to live longer, to be able to take care of your family, to be able to provide for your family, to be able to take care of yourself. So I feel like that's just something that I want to do regardless if I play or not or whatever. But I feel like helping others and being able to be in the hospital and just telling people what I know, I feel like it's going to help a lot.
Wow, indeed, I love those words. Hey, you guys see why I'm so proud of my child? They got a lot of wisdom, they young, they're strong, and he's telling you that, hold it for a second, but it's not a Mr. Nobody telling you that. It's like a real nice looking shape body telling you that. It ain't like, oh, it's somebody random talking, oh, this dude is optimal shape. He got recruited because how was the record on the sprinting on the track?
I had so I ran track for high school, and I think my best time was probably like 10 flat, and I had taken off for a while and stuff, so I got recruited because.
So you did 10 seconds flat?
Yeah.
And
that's with no training from the school. I mean, we didn't have a track.
Yeah, this is just his natural speed, his natural knowing of, okay, run, and that's it. And okay, and you was how far from the record of
from an NCC AA record, I think I was probably like 0.36
milliseconds?
Yes, around there, whatever, being like
less than a second away from
like competing in the national.
Yeah, the national record, right? That's the national record. So he got 36 milliseconds less than the national record on track. That's how skillful he is. And he as well. Come here, Django. Stand up.
I might have a little trouble.
Nah, you're not little. Look at this dude. Look at this. This is a perfect, healthy, looking good body. Like, yeah. I think we have talked a little bit.
I think me and him do a good job at at staying in shape. I mean, especially after sports. Because at the end of the day, I mean, whether the coaches or anybody has a problem or whatever the case is, whenever it comes down to sports or anything like that, I think me and him both got the memo of staying in shape, whether you're playing sports or not, or taking care of yourself, whether you're playing sports or not. I mean, and for those people that are being affected by coaches and people around the world telling them that they might not be good enough or their height's not, the most important, or their height's not there where it needs to be, whatever the case is. I mean, normally the best way to go about it is not to listen to those people and continue doing what you're doing until you get to where you want to. I mean, it's just kind of keeping your head down and working as hard as you can. And then when you get to that spot in life, I mean, you probably left those people behind so far that you don't even know where they're at in your radar. So it's really, I feel like, really important for people to continue working even after they've been set back or
indeed
set back in life. I mean, so
yeah, it's very important, guys. I like one of the Joe Rogan podcast. He said something like. He said, that he likes a successful man, but he really appreciates more a guy that falls and is able to get up and get back together. Because normally we don't learn from the winnings. Most likely, we just enjoy. We don't pay attention to learning from that position. But yeah, guys. One thing before we finish, I wanted to ask you something. What is your belief? Regardless, I know your belief, but I wanted to, but like.
Kind of like an opening question.
Yeah, no, it's like, I know you guys believe in God. You guys are very good Christians. If I could emphasize on that, it's not the Christians that, I don't know. I don't want to.
Get into that.
Yeah. But they try to be, I know about humans being kind of, and they try to be the best version of themselves. They're really putting an effort for what they learn, for what they believe, but I wanted to know how does that influence, because
how does that influence in sports maybe? Or
in your mind, it's in your mind, in your life, it's in your, because for example, I know you guys don't play on Saturdays. Yeah. They respect the Sabbath. And because they respect the Sabbath, they don't play on Saturdays, and it's all right. We gotta respect everybody's way of living. But I want to know how does that
affect?
Yes, affects the sports. I know the way the sport affects you completely, but how does that affects in your feelings and how you feel about you making a choice to play a day, to not do something a day, specifically like on Sabbath, But my question is, okay, you want to play basketball. You have this very good basketball game coming up. You really want it. You really want that game. You really want to play that game. But you got your religious belief, and you don't want to play on the Sabbath day. And then you decide not to go. How does that affect you in your feelings? Do you really feel God puts you in that position that you? Do you really feel that God is putting you in that position, or is you that you putting yourself on that position? Because you're choosing for yourself not to play on the Sabbath. But what about God is not telling you not to play? He's not like he physically is not speaking to you. Hey, not play on Saturday or do play on Saturday. He's not telling you directly. You are learning something from the Bible, and then you are applying it in your life, but it might result in negative consequences towards your own dreams, not towards your life, but towards your own dreams. It might result in a little type of kind of seeing negative situation.
Well, people see it different. People that believe in the Bible will see it different, and people that don't believe in the Bible will see it different. So,
all right, can you explain to me if I don't believe in the Bible, if I don't know about it?
So, we believe that God gives us laws, and God gives us, ways that we should live our life. He tells us things that we should do, and that's what we abide by. So, the choices and decisions that we make, or we try to make in our everyday life, we try to make them by the rules and things that God has us, like gives us and tells us.
Okay.
So that's why we do what we do.
All right. And you agree with the same thing that he's saying, or you got an argument and anything else to it?
But to add on to that, it's more of a whenever, for example, for me, whenever I do keep the Sabbath, and whenever if I was to be put in that scenario, I think I would obviously, in my opinion, keep the Sabbath over going to the game because of the relationship that I have with God compared to the relationship that I have with basketball or with anything else, really. I think at the end of the day, it comes down to priorities, and obviously what's more important than the other. And at the end of the day, your relationship with God and your spiritual relationship is more important than a basketball or or anything else that comes along with that, or with any worldly thing. And I just feel like I just kind of sit back and evaluate what at the end of the day is
most important for you.
Most important for me.
Okay, that's nice. All right. And okay, they got this. It will be on the, what day will be?
November 16th.
November 16th. It will be
James Park, Russellville.
Come on, say loud.
James Park, Russellville at 5:30.
James Park, Russellville. So what we doing in James Park, Russellville?
We're having a park takeover.
All right, they got a park takeover. What is a park takeover?
It's where we try to get as much people from the community to come out and watch us play or play with us, and we'll have.
How you take over the park? Don't be humble. How you take over the park? So what do you plan to take over the park?
We plan to go out there, show out, get dunks, get clips, get videos, and bring a lot of.
Okay, you got an argument on that. They're gonna play basketball, and you're gonna be playing against who?
Just the community, the people that come out and want to win money.
Oh, there is money involved?
Yes, there's money.
What do you mean there is money involved?
If you beat our team, you get to win money.
Oh, guys, do you hear that? I'm about to change from podcaster and martial artist to basketball player. I'm gonna go and get some money. So the winner gets a prize. That's what you're saying? Wow, that's good. Congratulations. I'm gonna be there. I want to play too. Can I play against you guys?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be able to win the money if I win.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they got the park takeover in Russellville. That day, I think John Jones is fighting, bro. John Jones versus Steve Maoki. He's fighting that same day, so I think after the park takeover, we're gonna celebrate at Buffalo Wild Wings and watch Steve Maoki versus John Jones. So there is, hey guys, I'm in the martial art world and I love sports. I love sport in general, but
He came back.
yeah, Steve Maoki is gonna fight and John Jones is gonna fight too. And if he wins, supposedly he's gonna fight this dude. Yeah, no, Aspinall.
I
He's.
thought he said that he doesn't care for Aspinall.
Did I say that?
No, yeah, I thought John Jones said that.
Oh, I don't know about that, but that's what I have heard.
I think he said that. I think John Jones said that. Why would he entertain somebody that's not in his?
In his level?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Everybody's talking about Aspinall after Steve
I was
Maoki.
thinking Alex Pereira because that's what people have been saying. But
Okay. So we got a good fights coming up. We got Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Who you got?
obviously, I feel like everybody that knows the sport of boxing is probably going to pick Mike Tyson. I like for Mike Tyson to win, but knowing boxing and how things are done nowadays, I mean,
You feel like Jake Paul is going to win?
Depends on who's the underdog and all this other stuff that can.
How does that have to do with, what do you mean? Who's going to win?
I think Mike Tyson should win if it's a fair fight. If it's not a fair fight and it involves money behind it, then probably Jake Paul.
Probably Jake Paul. Okay, what do you think about that?
I think unless Jake Paul is the underdog.
Unless Jake Paul is the underdog. What do you mean by that?
Like, if people are expecting Jake Paul to win,
Okay.
or people are expecting Mike Tyson to win,
Okay.
and expecting Jake Paul to lose, depending on how the bets are made,
Oh, I know what you
for
mean.
people to make more money off of.
So,
I mean,
so you think it might not be a complete? Do you feel it might be like a more set up
Yeah.
kind of environment fight,
Yeah,
just to get money and income?
I mean, especially that it's being broadcasted on Netflix. I mean, when's the last time Netflix
Yes,
broadcast?
good point, bro. Man, I was gonna watch a movie, put on Netflix, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson coming up. I'm like, what? This is insane. Like, yeah, you got a good point right there. Netflix is a stream on it, so it's all about the Benjamins right there. So what do you think? What were you gonna say about it?
I think Mike Tyson has more skill and he also has more experience for sure. But I don't know how that age role is going to give a kick to that fight. And if it's not rigged, I feel like Mike Tyson can win. But I just feel like the age difference. I'm not sure if Mike Tyson could take a punch at that age.
That's right. Wow. That was fantastic point. Wow. Yeah, because we all talk about the new videos that we have seen from Mike Tyson, and he's showing like a lot of strength and a lot of power and good movement. But yeah, how that has nothing to do when you get punched, and yeah, how it will affect him to take at that age a punch from Jake Paul. Like, he's a strong dude as well. Yeah. Well, that's their opinion. I feel the beast, the Iron Mike Tyson, is gonna eat him up, and it's gonna use each punch to weak Jake Paul's power, to weakness his endurance. He's gonna be able to attack maybe the lower body to break his leg power and movements. And I don't know, I go for Mike. I go for you, Mike. Hey, nothing against Jake, man. I like you too, but in this case I go for Mike. So what's going on, guys?
No, we were just talking.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. I think for the first podcast, I think we covered some grounds. I wanted to cover the ground about the universities, about how kids are not getting the right exposure, and there is a lot of talented youth out there that they should be heard and they should be looked on. We touched that point now. I want to invite you, everyone, if you are in Arkansas or even if you want to travel, come out here and enjoy the park takeover. We're going to be doing more of those park takeovers, right? The first one is going to be on November 16, right? You say? Yeah. Saturday, November 16? Okay, November 16, we got the park takeover from the twins, Diego and Diango. And yeah. To close down, I wanted to show you that. Yeah, he got it out. Look at that. Look at that. When I do my videos, real sword, real heavy sword, right? Yep. It's a real heavy sword.
I say we just all finish and just put our swords up.
All right, let's do it. All right, los tres mosqueteros. All for one.
And one for three.
No, all for one.
One for
Okay, guys. All right, see you guys. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to have you. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me anything that you like, anything that you don't like, any questions that you would like to ask us. We're going to do it for the next podcast. We're going to answer any questions that you want, anything. So, yes, that's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to wrap it up. It's the podcast of martial arts, fitness, health, and life. Everything you want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. And go on.